our collective business, that it should be left to the politicians while we go about tending our daily private lives. Well, politics also determines the conditions under which we will go about our daily private lives. In fact, it determines whether our lives will be private, safe, secure, and peaceful. Politics controls everything, including how we live and what our future will be. This is why when the government begins to act dangerously, provocatively, and unfairly to threaten our peace, privacy, and democracy, we must wake up and pay attention. We must stand up and express our strong disagreements against this public wrong because it is dangerous for all of us. When the government does the wrong things, even under the pretext of politics, in the end, it affects all of us. It affects our freedoms and our rights. It affects our economy. The prices of commodities, including rice, dry fish, palm oil, clothes, shoes, just to name a few. It affects the opportunities our country needs to attract foreign investments and thereby create jobs for Liberians and for Liberian businesses. It affects our cost of living, from kerosene to fire coal, airtime for our telephones, which is already too expensive. It affects the cost of rent and building materials. Everything is affected when the government puts its hands in the wrong type of politics. And so, the right politics will lift up our nation, just as the wrong politics will pull us down. From mosques to churches, civil society to traditional communities, and from schools to marketplaces, we share the duty not to help the wrong kind of politics become the order of its neutrality. The courts should referee our democracy, not be used to destroy it. Democratic governments do not abuse the courts or try to get them involved in political matters. But this is what is happening here. This is what this Weah-led government is doing. They are doing this to exclude me, but the actions will also affect each and every Liberian citizen, because it is your right to choose the leader you want that is being denied you. If this government is conniving to lock away its primary competition, it means 2023 will be a joke rather than a chance to seriously change the direction of our country and improve the lives of our people. The Weah administration, with the help of some of our opposition friends, are conniving to come after me because they know I and the ANC represent a different threat. We represent a serious commitment to change the corrupt political system. They know that I and the ANC are the only ones with the integrity to say what we mean and mean what we say. And they know we will keep the promises we make to the Liberian people. In order to target me and the ANC, the others would gladly break up the CPP and will not lose one night of sleep over breaking their promises to the Liberian people. While lying to our people and breaking promises are normal for many in the current system and for some in the opposition, it goes against the very fabric of what I and the ANC believe and stand for. This is why they have trumped up these false charges against me and the ANC. This is what this trial is about. This is wrong politics. And all Liberians need to pay close attention to this and join us in acting and speaking out against it. In 2023 and beyond, Liberians have a right to choose who their leaders will be. In 2023 and beyond, Liberians have a right to choose who their leaders will be. Neither this government nor its favored opposition candidate has any business deciding for the Liberian people who they would like to run against them by politically persecuting the candidate they are afraid of, so as to exclude him or her from the electoral process. There are many examples all over the world where this type of behavior is practiced, and it has led to some of the longest running and most devastating regimes and conflicts in the world. In such situations, the people who suffer most are the everyday citizens, and those who benefit are those at the top. The right to choose our leaders is not one of the rights we gave to the government to exercise on our behalf. Therefore, the government conniving to do this is a violation of us and an abuse of the powers we have constitutionally given them. In times such as these, we must not remain on the sidelines. We must not remain silent. The right to choose our leaders every 6 years or in any election is a right we the people continue to constitutionally withhold for ourselves. Through this trial, again, this is wrong politics, and it is dangerous for the peace of our nation. A famous historian once said, "Great events do not happen overnight." This is true. It is the little wrongs that happen every day, which when allowed to go unchecked, eventually breaks into big wrongs, which are often too late to be checked or stopped. This is why I'm asking all of us to pay close attention, to be concerned, and to speak out now. To speak out now. This government removed an associate justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia and effectively frightened the judiciary. Now they are conspiring to choose who they would prefer to run against in 2023. We must not let them succeed. Imagine one of the greatest football players in the world and his quote-unquote world-class team are scared to face my new squad because they know we will beat them any day of the week. So rather than be embarrassed on the pitch, they are trying to have my team disqualified because we would before we even take the field. Disqualified before we even take the field. I, Senator Natin, and Attorney Toh are in the docket at the magisterial court, but make no mistake, the citizenship rights of every man, woman, and child of Liberia is on trial. Justice within our beautiful borders is on trial. The democracy for which our grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, and cousins bled and died for, voluntarily and involuntarily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you guys there. This is J. Randy here. Good afternoon to you, good evening to you, and welcome to the Table Top Show with me, J. Randy. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. Let me take this thing off the screen here. Remove the phone screen. Okay. So now you can see me now. Let me make this thing big here. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity here to be your guest today, to be your presenter today, and everything. What is picture so big as this? Let me see. Everybody just looking here at this. Yes, everybody just looking here at this. All right. So thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to be here today, and I would like to make this few announcement to the ANC people, fellow Liberians, member of the ANC party, and to all well wishers of Liberia. We have 16 months to go. I don't know about many of you guys, but 16 months is a very short period of time because if you divide the 16 months into quarter, we have roughly about 5 quarters to go. Yeah, 5 quarters to go. So the first 12 months, you got 4 quarters in there. And then the 4 months, you take 3 months from there. That's 1 quarter. So when you add that 1 quarter to the 4 quarters, that make the 12th year month, you will have 5 quarters. So we have 5 quarters to go to the election. So we take that 1 month that is not part of the 4 months. That 1 month could be the election months. So what do we do for now? I would like to know, and I would like to inform all ANC people. Mr. Cummings could be popular for now to that 1 month, or Mr. Cummings cannot be popular to that 1 month. I'm then serious about this because I'm receiving a lot of calls from a lot of people who believe in what I do, and they are encouraging me to support the ANC. I got a very good call from a brother today from Maryland. He spoke to me and said, Randy, this is our last hope. Mr. Cummings is our last hope for our generation. And he's absolutely right. He's on the money. But what I would like to say here to the people at ANC, I learned a lot from CDC. And there's one thing you don't want to do to upset me. I'm not saying that I'm the only person who put in for Mr. Cummings. No, I'm only speaking as an individual that got feelings too, just as you. So we might want to do everything possible, humanly possible, in every ways to make sure that we all work together to make Mr. Cummings popular. Mr. Cummings should not be belonging to any one political party or to an individual. Mr. Cummings is not for anybody. Mr. Cummings is for all Liberians. I want for everyone to get that to the back of their mind. Mr. Cummings is for all Liberians. If you come on the platform or if you go anywhere and think that Mr. Cummings is for you or for ANC, you're wasting your time. Because that one thing you don't want the Liberian people to hear. So whatever lesson I have learned from the CDC, it should be a guide to not fall into any mistake. So going forward, as we go towards the election next year, the months remaining, the 16 months, I'm trying to break that months into 3 months, and then over a period of time, I'm looking at having 5 quarters to finish that 16 months to the election. And in every quarter, I want to systematically look at specific things that we will be able to discuss so that Liberian people can understand. We are doing that both here online and we are doing it locally in Liberia. I get on my butt every morning by 4 a.m. in the morning while most of you guys are sleeping here around here. I'm sitting down here broadcasting into Liberia. I'm doing it voluntarily. I'm not making any promise to nobody here that I'm looking for a job. And that's why when I come on the show here and you're not here all the time, I encourage you to please sit and watch. You can ask questions. But there are some dumb questions that when you ask, I will address that question dumb in a dumb way too. Because You don't miss work. The reason that people don't want you to miss work in this country because they want you to familiarize yourself with the job. They want you to make sure that you become very productive. If you come for the first time as a new employee or contract employee, you have to go through orientation and you have to be on that job for 1 or 2 weeks before you get your first pay, right? So treat the platform as that. You go on other platform and you stay there for months and months. Maybe one day you miss that platform broadcast, or maybe the platform don't show up, and then you come on the platform and then you want to kind of be asking me stupid question, you will get stupid answer. Why? Because we are on a journey. We are on a journey. Every one of us from Liberia who was in age to remember, when you leave from Pittsburgh, really, whether you go into Grand Bassa County, whether you go into Lima County, when that car stopped in Kakata, everybody that in that car will know where that car is coming from. And everybody that understands the direction will know where that car is going. There should be nobody in that car who is in the right mind to ask the driver, are you going to Monrovia? Because everybody in that car will tell you, say, you don't know what you're talking about. When I'm on my broadcast here, if you come here for the first time, you don't know what's going on, be like a new employee, sit down and watch the show till the end. If you come here to create distraction, you got me to contend with you. I'm not going to exercise 100% professionalism here. No. You know where you exercise professionalism? When the place you work, the reason you guys front desk secretary or manager, the reason you got security guards to play your work is because the policy put those things in place. When you walk to any place of work, you reach to the front desk, you're going to introduce yourself, you're going to make sure that you ask questions that you're supposed to ask. On the platform, it's a social platform. There are some people who are not measured to come here. And I'm not here to school you when you come here. We got a very short period of time to get the message across. If you come here as a distraction, I'm sorry. If you don't know somebody for the first time, go to their profile. Follow their profile. Facebook is very easy. You look at everybody's profile and see what the person has done over a period of time. And then you can come and listen. If you have questions, you can post your question. But if you start asking dumb questions, you got me to contend with. I'm not your friend here. I am the friends of the people of Liberia on the ground who are catching hard time. They don't know me. I don't know them, but I'm fighting for them to make sure that whoever I believe will help them out of the crap they find themselves in right now, they are the one. That is why every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday in the morning, when I'm broadcasting into Liberia, they don't call on the phone and say, who that man over them? They will call and say, thank you to Red Meat. Thank you very much for representing us. We appreciate you. But not some of you guys who enjoy the luxury in this country and just feel that you want to come on any platform and just want to come and make noise here. You got me to contend with you. You got me to contend with you. I'm not looking for anyone's support. I believe the only politician that is standing right now, Joseph Boyka and Eddie were giving 12 years, they screw up the country. Mr. Weah has been giving 6 years. He already messed up 5. Mr. Cummings is now waiting in the wings. We must do everything to give him that opportunity. And I'm going to do the best I can here to jump others to make sure that in our weak ways, we get him across the finish line. It is a mission. It is a project that I am working towards. I don't need nobody in my way. I don't need nobody in my way. If you think you and Cummings slept in the same house and you come here to create any problem, guess what? I'll blow you all the way. I don't have time. That election on our ground, there are a lot of moving parts taking place. The ANC is behind in some faction. It's coming in like the underdog. And we need people who are measured here to throw all the support that we want, not to create all the distraction. When we ran Weah campaign, we didn't take anything for granted. Every little thing was considered serious, and we took every serious action to get it done. Mr. Cummings lost in 2017, a very bad margin. Everything must be done this time around to make sure that we get him across the finish line. He is recruiting the best out of the best, and we expect to do our part. And we don't need anybody in our pathway. To win, it doesn't require sympathy. To win, it doesn't require sympathy, most especially when you're dealing with Liberia. There are times that you play the Liberian politics. There's no professionalism when it comes to Liberia. So I'm very serious here. I'm on the platform for a mission. If you want to have pleasure, go to Spoon Network. When they come on, they got 5,000 people watching, even though they don't use anything positive. Here is a classroom size where we disseminate real information to get job done, to get things done. I'm not here for fun. I have the resume, and I know what it takes to have that resume. I campaigned to make Mr. Weah president, and I will always say it here, because you see in this country here, people are giving opportunity based on their past experience and past achievement, and I have that, and I know what it takes and what it means. When you're in that position, what it means, what it takes for you to get the job done. And I see some of the distraction here, and when you come in my way, I will help blow dry you. Yes, I will definitely. All right. So that made progress here, and thank you. So as you can see down here, where does President Weah stand with the overall direction and most important problem in the country? We are going to look at that tonight. I'm of the belief that Mr. Weah has failed this country. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. Mr. Weah has failed the people of Liberia. We are going to play a few things here, and we'll be looking at every sector in the country as we listen to Mr. Weah's speech, his inaugural speech. Because what we're doing here now is we are doing a 5-year program evaluation of Mr. Weah. Yes, we're going back to the inauguration speech. We're going to analyze the speech, and we're going to look at what he has done since that inauguration in January. I think we're on the 23rd of January 2018. What he has done since that time in 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. We are measuring everything that he has done. And then we'll conclude from what I just said, that he failed the Liberian people. And then what next? What next is for us to be ready to look for a leader who will begin to work on behalf of the people, with the people, collaboratively to get a piece of job done. Mr. Boyka is in no way to change anything here. Speaking about Mr. Boyka, there are many backdoor discussion, offline discussion that are taking place right now. Joseph Boyka is not medically strong. He is not able to tour the 15 counties. He knows that. There are some people who are pushing Mr. Boyka, but the old man is letting them know that he's not able to do things. So part of the offline conversation, and don't take my word for it, it will come a time when Mr. Boyka will end up giving his support to Mr. Cummings. And it will be up to his supporters who believe, if they are not greedy just to get jobs, that Jefferson Koji, Samuel Tue, and other people that are supporting Mr. Cummings is to replace a government that have failed the Liberian people. Don't take my word for it, because I know Liberians, you don't believe in anything. When it happens, that's when you get to know. So if you think I'm trying to convince you here, you're wasting your time. No, you're wasting your time. I'm not here to convince you. What I'm hearing is what I'm here to tell you as well. But there will come a time where Mr. Cummings will get the support from Mr. Boyka. Yes, Mr. Cummings might get the support of Mr. Boyka. All right? Because Mr. Boyka himself is not in the position right now to do anything that is required of him right now. Yes, he's failing. All right, he's failing, and it's a natural failure because he's getting old, and he cannot make it. He won't be able to make it as well. Yeah, so But again, don't take my word for it. Yeah, don't take my word for it. Yes, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. All right? Do not take my word for it. But I will say this here: this election here, there are so many things. There are so many things at the crossroad. CDC won the election by putting boots on the ground, by putting boots online, by putting boots in every part of the country. If ANC is to win this election, it cannot be won online. There has to be people in different places carrying the same message to persuade the people to win. And at the same time, there must be a negotiation taking place as well. And one of the negotiations is for Mr. Boycott himself, with his ailing health, to give it up and stand aside so that Mr. Cummings can go toe to toe with George Weah. That would be one of the biggest things that Mr. Boycott will ever do, and you'll be remembered in the history of our country. He will eventually give way for Mr. Cummings to take on Mr. Weah. That is something that I'm looking forward to. That is something that I'm confident will happen. It's just a matter of time, because there's no way that Mr. Boycott can defeat George Weah. He knows that. And his glory days are gone. His ability to withstand things are all gone as well. So all he can do right now is to redirect the remaining energy he has to Mr. Cummings, and so that Mr. Cummings can start to do the best. I know this is not a pleasant news for the hustler behind Mr. Boycott, but hey, it's not about you. Whatever Boycott believes is the right thing to do, he will do the right thing, and Liberia will remember him for what he's doing. But that time will come, and we'll get to see it as well. All right? So let's make progress here. We need all the support we can get. We need all the support from the ANC. I'm looking forward to the ANC people online to send in their presence and support on this platform. Yes. Energy create vibes. Energy create strength. Energy create unity. And never underestimate anybody. Starting next year, the state will be hard. There will be people going all around. The economic stimulus package is going to start. Yes, the economic stimulus package from the government is going to start. There will be people that will be paid good money to just sit down and carry on misinformation, lies, just to get the government in power. And it wouldn't take moral support, moral obligation to get the job done, because there is a commitment down there. So I'm looking forward to everybody to show their support and stuff like that. All right. So thank you. That's a little announcement I have for everyone here. But the journey is just starting. We got a long way to go. We got a very, very long way to go in the process. And don't be deterred. Don't convince yourself when you see a lot of turnout, whether it's in Banga, whether it's in Nimba. Do not give up when you see huge turnout, whether it is beyond Cummings, whether it is beyond Weah. Do not be complacent when you see huge turnout. Most of the voters, they turn out based on some money that have been given to them. Remember, every election season, it is something that I call payday. Every election season is something that I call payday. Election season in Liberia is an opportunity for those who vote to get extra money in their pocket, because they believe that politicians will pay for everything that they would like to see done. Yes, that's what that they would like to see done. All right. So let's go back to what Mr. Cummings was saying here, and then listen a little bit, and then from there we will start what we're supposed to be doing here. All right. So let's go back there.
Is on trial.
Listen to me here.
Our right to choose a leader and a real change in the direction of our country and the lives of our people is on trial. This is our chance to decide the future of our country. This is our chance to redefine ourselves. This is our chance for a better Liberia. Let us not miss this chance. Let us not miss this chance. Whether we will be a weakened opposition in 2023 or a strong resistance to the corruption and failures of the Weah-led government is on trial. Whether we will continue to accept the mismanagement of our country's natural resources, by which we continue to be counted among the poorest and most corrupt nations on earth, is on trial. We cannot choose to be silent and uninterested, or the outcome will certainly haunt all of us. We will all continue to suffer. We will all continue to have to struggle for work. We will all continue to beg to feed ourselves. We will all continue to have to live with the shame and embarrassment that we picked a leader who continues to fail us again and again while enriching himself and his friends. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to be heard. It is not enough that we only wish the right things to happen in our country. Now is the time to make the right things happen. History has shown that the continued silence and inaction of any people will only feed the dangerous wrongs leaders selfishly perpetuate against the people. Now is the time to act strongly and decisively so that we do not enable the resistance of a discredited system to overcome our desires for real change. As I've often said, change is hard. The people who are benefiting from the corrupt system will naturally fight against those who want to change it. We handed them the nation's wallet, hoping they would invest for us. But all they have done is taking money out of our pockets. Liberians are worse than spectators to their own economy. We are not even in the VIP section, stadium wing, or around the field. In our own country, we are on the outside of the fence looking in and begging for tickets. Those who want change cannot just stand by and watch. Real change requires all of us believing, speaking, and acting for it to happen. Often, for real change to happen, people have to stand up and stand together. We have to act strongly and speak decisively. Regardless of your tribe, religion, gender, or party, I know deep inside we can all agree that our country must change. We must change the direction of Liberia and improve the living conditions of our people. We simply cannot continue in this leaderless, irresponsible, and corrupt way. My fellow Liberians, for too long, we have been divided by tribe, gender, region, religion, and political party. But let us not forget, suffering has no tribe. Hunger has no religion.
Yeah, so guys, let's just start the show here because we are pressed with time. And as you know, tomorrow morning I have to be up to be on our show tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity here. Let me say this here. So what we're going to be looking at here right now, guys, remove from stream. So there are a few questions that I have, and we'll be looking at this main question here that says, where is the direction of the country now? All right. Where does President Weah, all right, where does President Weah stand with the overall condition of Liberia? I'm telling you that Mr. Weah has failed the people of Liberia because there's nothing that he has given to you to convince you that he has done well for the people of Liberia. So let's go back to his inaugural speech and just play an excerpt of that, and then we'll start to analyze things here. So again, welcome to the Table Talk with me, J. Randy. My style of teaching here is to give you an insight, a historical background of why I'm making statement today based on what has happened in the past. I don't just come here and discuss things because I want you to understand that when J. Randy said this person is not the right person, when J. Randy said he was going to throw support, and let me say this to people at ANC, I'm not an ANC person. I'm only giving support to ANC. But I know there are other people out there who don't understand these things. They just blame you for nothing. I am not going to be part of any more political party. I see myself as an independent person. But what I do with my independence is to look for who is in the interest of the Liberian people and what can I do to support that person so that they, along with the Liberian people, can help our country and our people. That is all I can say here. And what I have decided to do, I am now leaning towards Mr. Cummings, hoping that he will live up to his bargain. But nevertheless, the same standard and measure that I use against Mr. Weah will also be applied against Mr. Cummings. And this is where some ANC and myself will not see eye to eye, because Mr. Cummings wants this government job, and that government job is not for ANC members, is for the people of Liberia. Meaning, Mr. Cummings wants to be a public servant. And as a public servant, Mr. Cummings will be open up to criticism. And if you believe that Mr. Cummings should not be criticized, then what I think you need to do right now is to go and tell Mr. Cummings to not run for public office, which I believe he will not listen to you. And because he will not listen to you, you need to understand that as a public servant, or if you haven't read that before, go and ask any online engine who is a public servant, what does he or she do as a public servant, and you get to understand that. But public servants are those who are what? Prone to be criticized by the very people on both sides. All right? So let us play an essay here for Mr. Weah, and then we'll get into
Ambassador Joseph Nyimambuaka, Honorable Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, the Guardian Council of the Tripartite Coalition Democratic Change, CDC.
So there was the inauguration here. Why am I bringing you back here? I'm bringing you back here because I want you to understand that this was the day that Mr. Weah became president, and what Mr. Weah has said since that time. Do you believe that Mr. Weah, when it comes to the overall direction of the country, on this day, 5 years ago, do you think what he said, maybe you are forgetting? I want to bring that back to you. And what you are about to hear in part, do you think the promises he made in that inaugural speech, is he living up to it? So we're going to hear some of it, and then after that, we will begin to look at some specific question so that you can be able to make up your mind. This platform is not just going to talk. No. Here we want to take a clinical approach. We want to take a surgical approach to things, because you are not only going to vote for Mr. Cummings, but you need to understand why Mr. Weah has failed the Liberian people. All right. So let's start this. We're not going to play the whole thing entirely. There are pointers that I have. We're going to be skipping. So please bear with me. All right, let me progress.
Of the UN Secretary General and other representatives of the United Nations, there would not be a winner or a loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia. And the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy.
So what does Mr. Weah mean by we all wear the jersey? I mean, what does he mean by we all wear the jersey? What does he mean by we all wear the jersey? You got to understand that. And that should also be applied to your political leader statement too. When your political leader is making his or her statement, you also need to be able to understand why your political leader is making that statement as well. Because people come and get fired or when they see a huge crowd, they make statement and they don't live up to that statement. But for me, I will always go back to any statement any political leader makes, because what make a man is the words that come out of his mouth. So today we are putting Mr. Weah on the grill. So Mr. Weah said, we all wearing the jersey. What does that imply? What was he saying that time? Is he saying that everybody will be building mansions or condominium? Did you build your condominium? Answer my question, because he said everybody will be wearing the same jersey. Is everyone in Liberia wearing the same jersey as Mr. Weah and his government official? I don't think so. So that statement was a lie. It's not true. Let me progress.
The tens of thousands of Liberians here today, and many more in our community across the country who are listening, gathered together around radios in the Palava Hut. It is to you we are responsible to deliver the change you deserve. Indeed, we must deliver the change that our people need in order to transform our lives.
What change? What change has Mr. Weah shown to you people? What change? You see, if you don't understand the fundamental breakdown of what we are trying to accomplish here, you oftentimes will vote for somebody without even knowing what are the code in that person's statement or in that person's comment. You talk about change. Do you see any change in the country? Almost everything that you saw in the past years of your existence as a Liberian, including the 12-year Eddie Johnson administration. And there are even worse things that you are seeing today that Mr. Weah is exhibiting. Do you see any change? Be my guest. What had changed that wasn't there before? There's nothing that has been changed. Let me progress.
For the better. I promise to do everything in my power to be the agent of positive change. But I cannot do it alone. First, I called upon the revealed institution that hosts us today and from which the Vice President and I come, the legislative, our co-equal branch of government, to work with me to create and pass essential laws that are needed to complete the foundation of this nation.
So why essential law as the legislative branch pass? They are part of the problem and not part of the solution as well, right? So this coming election, there are some legislature that are up for grabs. And if many Liberians do not pay attention, not just voting for Mr. Cummings, but leaving those legislature to be re-elected by their constituents, then you're going to create another problem again. And that's why you need to be very alert that this coming general election, that's why it is called general election, general and presidential election. The general is a represent member of the House who are set to be going back to the ballot or going back to the people to get re-elected. If you make one mistake, you forget about those people. Remember, they are independent body. They can go in there and continue to do what they can do over there, and nobody going to move them from there. The president of Liberia cannot remove those national legislatures. He cannot remove them. It is the people that are supposed to remove them. Have you ever heard the president firing any senator? Have you ever heard the president firing any legislature? No. You think if they had the power, by now Yeke Koluba will be out of that place there, right? But they are waiting for the people. So when the president tells you that, oh, we are going to work with the national legislature, now he has completed 5 years now, right? Ask yourself, what time of the man 5 years Has he ever worked along with the national legislature to come up with some laws that protect the people? There are a lot of things in the country, from foreign investor to crime to anything that have harmed our people in the past. Have you seen the national legislature taking any step in that direction? No. The national legislature can become a problem to the executive if the rightful people are not in power. They can make a job or the president job very difficult. And that is why this election, it should not only be about replacing George Weah, it should also be about removing lawmakers who support Mr. Weah idea that have not used any dividend for the Liberian people. So do not let your guard down. Do not let your guard down. All right? So let me progress.
Together, we hold our citizens clarity on fundamental issues such as the land beneath their feet, freedom of speech, and high national resources and responsibility as equality and democracy has not yet been realized. The people. Democracy exists, were upended and families displaced because we lost, and therefore, and before the Almighty God, to uphold the Constitution and to pray to preside over this government and this country to the best of my ability. Rest assured, I will not let you down.
Do you believe that now? Do you believe that? Are you rest assuring, or have you been rest assuring that he will not let you down? Look at 5 years ago. What has he done to not let you down? If I were to give you a pen and paper and say, check the box that say he let me down through all the 5 years that he spent, or he let me down this year, the following year, he did not let me down. Did he let you down? I see my sister Agnes said he let everyone down, and I agree with her. And this is why when we must sit here and understand, not only to vote, but to educate our people. Every word that came out of this man's mouth is turning out now to be a complete lies, complete bunch of lies. Everything he said, he will work with the national legislature to bring about new laws. Do we have new laws today? He said we'll be wearing the same jersey. Are you wearing the same jersey? You not. Only his supporters are wearing the same jersey. Sekou Kalasco is now having multiple bank accounts. Samuel Tua get the same multiple bank account. Mr. President has multiple bank account plus the condominium he built. Same thing with McGill. What about the Liberian people? What about you, who are a Liberian? Are you wearing the same jersey? No, you're not wearing the same jersey. Do you think you're going to give me another opportunity again for him to come here and do what he has already done to the people of Liberia? That is why we need to listen to this president here and be able to understand, because people quit to forget. 5 years ago is a very long period of time. And what we do here is to bring it back to you. So the question when you see here, Mr. President, are we wearing the same jersey? Are we wearing the same jersey here? We are not wearing the same jersey. You said on January 23rd, 2018 at the Samuel Kanyando Sport Complex that we all were going to wear the same jersey. But your jersey, along with your government official, are different from us out here. So we're not wearing the same jersey. We're not wearing the same jersey. Let me progress, folks.
And so, my fellow citizens, I want to acknowledge you that the foundation of the new Liberia must be reinforced by the seed of integrity. We need men and women, boys and girls, whose integrity provides the foundation of the trust.
There go another lie over there again. Look, it seems like maybe somebody wrote this speech for him and he never understood what the expectation of what he read on the 23rd of January. Because when you look at what is happening and continue to happen under this man administration. And then when you listen to him talking about integrity, does he really understand what integrity means and what it is? You see, it is one thing to know something, but it's another thing to understand, because understanding the thing is your right. He spoke about integrity. How many people in your cabinet right now got integrity? How many of them have shown any level of integrity? This is where his limitation comes in. And this is where his failure comes in. Because he used all the important words, but he had not been able to put them into practice. He had not been able to challenge his ministers to put them into practice. Look at the other dude who used to be on Spoon the last time. What he did. He flogged a girl. This man who's just mentioned to you about integrity, did he take any action to address the issue, to even ask for an investigation? Did he show any concern about what happened to that girl that minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sport was accused of? Did you see him applying any level of integrity? No. So you see, he used these words with all understanding because he feel that the Liberians who sat on that stadium, bunch of them do not understand how effective and efficient a government can use these different professional tools to make an institution leadership a very robust and transparent one. So he has no integrity to even begin to talk about integrity on that day. Kawa, you heard him what he said that time, right? Today now you are evaluating him after he had gone over the rainbow journey from 2018. He went over the rainbow journey now, and he's now in 2022. Why you are understanding him now? You are understanding him because what he said back then, I think that he never lived up to today. So what grade do you give him when it comes to integrity? Based on everything you are seeing in his government? Nothing. Nothing. He is another failure when it comes to these governmental leadership expectation, rules, and principle. He understands nothing about it, and that's what made him a very incompetent person as well, too, right? Now let's go. You see, it's good to do a live audit of the past video to determine what he has done, right? Let's move on again. So as he opens his mouth to say things, you can just say it is lie, incompetence, or he misled the people, right? So you enjoying it now? Let's go ahead.
That is required for Liberian society to benefit our people. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, during my tenure as president of Liberia, the loudest battle cry that must ring from the mountain of Wologizi to the peak of Yekepa, from the ranges of Putu to the hills of Bombi, and from the coast of Hapa to the shores of Morovia, must be the cry for national unity. We should strive to put aside our differences and join hands in the task of our nation building. We must learn how to celebrate our diversity without drawing lines of division in our new Liberia. We belong to Liberia first, before we belong to our inherited tribes or chosen counties. We must not allow political loyalties prevent us from collaborating in the national interest. We must respect each other and act as neighbors, regardless of religious, social, and economic differences. In the words of our national anthem, a union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. United, we are certain to succeed as a nation. Divided, we are certain to fail. Fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that the most effective way to directly impact the poor and to narrow the gap between the rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pocket of government officials. I further believe that
I missed that part. 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 Let's go back again. Let's go back. Let's go back again. Let's go back. Aren't you guys enjoying the show tonight? Of course you enjoy the show, right? This is the good thing about J. Randy. Are you guys enjoying the show tonight? Y'all enjoying it, right? Be honest. Give me. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. Let's go back again. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. I had to hold my story here this morning. Hold on. Let's go back again, guys. Let's go back. Let's start the thing over again. Let's start the thing over again. I see somebody watching my show here, Jenna. One of my top men watching my show. He sent me some kind of message here. He ready here. Let's play again, folks. Let's play again.
We must not allow political loyalties prevent us from collaborating in the national interest. We must respect each other and act as neighbors, regardless of religious, social, and economic differences. In the words of our national anthem, a union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. United, we are certain to succeed as a nation. Divided, we are certain to fail. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that the most effective way to directly impact the poor and to narrow the gap between the rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pocket of government officials.
Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? I see Sis Vivian here. Where is Sis Agnes here? Where are my people? Where are my people? You see the lies now? You see the lies today? You see the lies today? Where are the public resources at today, folks? Where are the public resources at today? Where are the public resources at today, people? Where are the public resources? Everything went into his pocket the moment he got inaugurated. After the inauguration, within the first 3 months, what did he do? He took everything. Look, let me say this to you guys. I had a conversation with John Molu, and in fact, John Molu also made a public announcement on one of his interviews or during one of his interviews. You see, every time the government fiscal year ends, that's when the stealing starts. Think about your bank account you got, right? Your bank account. Every time the month ends, some of us will have little balance in our bank account, right? So when the month ends, whether you have $2, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, how much you get in your bank account, when that month ends, that your balance will roll into the new month, right? Yes. Now, the Liberian government, over all the years, not just George Weah, but Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when they come up with a fiscal year budget, because before it used to be from June to July, but now they're running the fiscal year now from January to December. So whenever December comes for us to go into the new year, when they cut the budget, whatever money left over, they don't roll that balance into the new budget year. Think about you having your balance in your bank account. Every time the month ends, the bank take your balance and they share it and they tell you, say you started from the beginning of the new month with zero balance. When he got and took office, the money that Ellen left there, when they became the new leadership, they took that rest of that money and put it in their back pocket. Think about the bank taking your balance and say you got no money to start with a new month. And then the bank officials share your money. That's what the guys have been doing throughout. So when you saw them building new houses after they took office, it was the balance that was left from the early government that they put in their back pocket because they knew they were going into a new month to start a new budget. That's where the stealing is today. That is where the stealing is today. So whenever you see them going forward, ask and say, where is the carry forward? Ask them that question. Many accounting that will watch the show, will watch the show later, or that are watching the show today, right now, they will tell you that's how they steal from the Liberian people. That's how they acquire their wealth. So now when you listen to this president of Liberia telling you that will do everything that the wealth of the Liberian people, here's the question here for you now. After 5 years, do you see equality of wealth among Liberians today? You can look at Akara's Gray, who went to France and spent thousands of dollars to get married, right? Did you see an Irish Liberian man from his own district, before we even say across the country, getting married? No. When you look at Sekou Kalasko, who is shown on a very old picture, sitting down on a long bench, eating a bread, holding a dry cup. Today, Sekou Kalasko is having a very big wedding, going around and giving thousands of dollars. When you see my own man 12 living a life that he never lived before, when you see Mangil doing the same thing, and of course, you see Foke Claw doing the same thing, building condominium that he never built. Now, when you look at the Liberian people, whether it's Daha, Sedition, supporter of the CDC, and all Liberians within our country, when you look at their lifestyle, who are not part of the job we are structured in the leadership of that country, do you see equality among them or between them? Do you see equality? Now you realize when I start to tell you guys that this is the time that Joe Weah should be stopped and not to be president of Liberia, and I had decided to move on now to throw my support to somebody. You heard the man's speech now, right? Are you now convinced that what I have been talking about, I'm not giving you enough information now? Guys, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button and please share the video here. It is from this background that I come from, and to speak the way I speak and present myself the way I present myself. Because this man lied to the Liberian people. And you see the good thing about the digital world we're living in today, we're not living in the President Tubman era anymore. We're not living in the Charlie King time anymore, where people will come and tell stories. We are living in an era now where you can just go and bring your old video out and play it and listen. So with that said, let's go back again and listen to the president again. Now you know how our people living in our country now, because you are seeing it, you are felt it, you are touching it, you smell it, you taste it, and you can see the big difference between the people in our country, how they're living, and the way Mr. Weah living. And you are listening to what Mr. Weah said 5 years ago. If all this information, if it's not giving you a reason to say, Randy, you are right, you are doing enough, we bless you to go and throw your support behind Mr. Cummings, because we now know where you come from. We're seeing the truth. So let's go again and listen again, folks. Listen again.
In the words of our national anthem, a union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. United, we are certain to succeed as a nation. Divided, we are certain to fail. Fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that the most effective way to directly impact the poor and to narrow the gap between the rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pocket of government officials.
as a blatant lie. A blatant lie. All he was telling you that day, that public resources will definitely end up in the pocket of not just public official, but it will start with me first. Fuck a claw, as he called himself. Question here is, today in Liberia, I got the statistics here. Today in Liberia, it says here, what, and I want you to read the statement down here, because I want to come to read now. All right? The statement down here. I want you to read that statement that says, all right, where does President Weah stand with the overall direction of the country? Now, hear what many Liberian people say. All right? Almost 80%, almost 80% say that Mr. Weah is taking the country in the wrong direction. 80% of Liberia are saying that Mr. Weah is taking the country in the wrong direction. That means everything that he said before he became president all turned out to be lies. And here are the proof. You listen to him right now making that comment, right? How he lied to the people out there and continue to lie. You seen everything. Are you wearing the same jersey? As he mentioned that everybody will be wearing the same jersey? No. Are you getting the same equality as the way he and his government officials are getting? No. The wealth distribution, is he providing job opportunity to show that you and your relative are getting job? Are you doing it? No. So let's look at a few statistics here, right? It said, what, in your opinion, what are the most important problems facing this country under George Weah leadership? The management of the economy, very, very poor. That's why you got right here. Unemployment in the country. Unemployment is one of the key things, right? Spectators, remember that part? Liberians will not be spectators in their own country. The unemployment rate, the people, those in the suburb, in the city people say they got the unemployment rate that is so high, they disagree. And the percentage of disagreement, they say 5.9 disagree. The people in the interior, nothing at all. They got no comment. The total of people is around 4.3 of the 5 million people. Imagine that people who are supposed to work. So we have 5 million, and not every 5 million is supposed to work. And you got almost 5% of the population saying that Weah is not doing anything at all. All right? That means whether they agree and the rest, no comment. So let's listen to him again, lie to the Liberian people, all right? Lying to the Liberian people. Listen to him more. So imagine all the people jubilating, all the people that were clapping that time 5 years ago. Do you think when their message is re-echo and play in Liberia now, how you think the applause would be? Would that be more applause, or it will be a lot of emotional reaction? Shut up, turn that thing off. What do you think going to be the reaction? It's going to be a very bad reaction from the Liberian people because he lied to the Liberian people. He lied. He's just a regular citizen. He's not better than any one of you guys here. He's not better than anybody listening to the sound of my voice. He's nothing but a complete liar. He lied to the Liberian people.
I further believe that the overwhelming mandate that I received from the Liberian people is a mandate to end corruption in public service.
You hear that? What did I say to you guys? For 12 years, sedition supporter of the party as well, put their life on hold for 12 years and stuck with the CDC government, right? They turned around and gave him 6 years. They turned around and gave him 6 years and said, go out there and do a piece of job for 6 years. He had gone 5 years. So that's total of 17 years the people gave him. Is he fighting corruption today? What is he doing to fight corruption today? When every fabric of his government, including government officials, are part of the corrupt scheme today. But the people gave him the mandate. And he took care of himself first. He took care of himself first by putting structure down for himself. But now you listen to him talk now. You see why you don't trust people by their words, but by their action? That's who he is. And this is the message that need to go to the Liberian people to understand. Guys, you got to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Keep hitting the like button first and the love and share this video. You will never get a kind of teaching across any network right now, folks. You will never get a kind of teaching across any network. Only here, you will get a kind of conversation here. Yes, only here, you will get a kind of conversation. That made progress. You are watching a president who lied to the Liberian people. He lied from day one. But many of you guys kept your cool because you wanted to get enough information. And this is the time now that you go back after 5 years to see how he lied.
I promise to deliver on this mandate. As officials of government, it is time to put the interests of our people above our own selfish interests. It is time to be honest with our people. Though corruption is a habit amongst our people, we must end it. We must pay civil servants a living wage so that corruption is not an excuse for taking what is not theirs. For those who do not refrain from enriching themselves at the expense of the people, the law will take its course. I say today that you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. To the private sector.
So has he prosecuted anybody yet? Has he prosecuted anybody yet? Not yet. Not yet. You know, folks, I will say this to you guys. There are people out there saying that, oh, coming is CDC, CDC is coming. Don't believe that lies. Do not believe that lies. Cummings himself know that he's Alexander B. Cummings, and he's not going to support any idea of CDC. This coming election, the Liberian people are planning to make sure we are one-term president, with the expectation that Mr. Cummings will be the next president. And that expectation is for Mr. Cummings to do directly opposite of what Mr. Weah did for 5 years. And that is to adequately and efficiently carry out the work of the Liberian people as president. So do not be deterred by anybody who will come in and tell you, say, oh, ANC and CDC, they are the same family. That would be something that Mr. Cummings will have to decide. But for you and I, we know that we must do everything. Don't listen to people out there who will tell you, oh, Cummings is the same as CDC. No, do not listen to them. And it is up to Mr. Cummings to dispel, to despair, to destroy that information. Coming back to Mr. Weah, he spoke about people being, and people who will be found guilty of corruption, they will be persecuted. They will be persecuted. Have you seen Mr. Weah persecuting anyone for corruption? 5 years. Have you seen him persecuting anyone for corruption? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Listen to him again.
I said to you, Liberia is open for business. We want to be known as a business-friendly government. We will do all that is within our power to provide an environment that will become conducive for the conduct of honest and transparent business.
What kind of conducive environment? Come on, guys. What kind of conducive environment? People die, no investigation. In the morning, you see body in the street, no investigation. When we ran this man campaign, there were some key things that we put out there. Stability and predictability are the two most important components that must be maintained in any functioning society. If you can create stability within a country, then you can make prediction that there will be more investors coming to the country. Mr. Weah government failed to maintain the two components. There hasn't been no stability in the country since he took office. There is no way without stability for you to make prediction that investor will come to the country. None of those things Mr. Weah has done. Never. Never. Yeah, he has done. Absolutely not. Never. So he lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. And you know it. Shipping thing to Liberia is almost like shipping thing to a foreign land that you never been to before. So there's no foreign investor in the country since Mr. Weah entered that country. Those guys that are there were other people who Ellen administration brought to office, and they are not changed anything in Liberia. Anything. Absolutely nothing. Because you know what? Mr. Weah got no contact. He doesn't understand nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. He brought a mess on himself, and he had to face the consequences of his poor judgment and incompetent understanding and comprehension of what he never knew from day one. Now he got to go through the hard audit that will continue to name and shame him because he's very, very incompetent to carry out anything.
We will remove unnecessary regulatory constraints that tend to impede the establishment and operation of business.
Does he really understand regulation? Does he really understand regulatory regulation? He ain't got no damn idea on what he's saying over there. Somebody wrote that speech for him. Same Mr. Weah begin speaking about regulation. What regulation has any of the institution under Mr. Weah has been able to develop that company are going by today? Where is it? Look at B Mountain operation. Why you think B Mountains spill that cyanide into the drinking water? Do you think if you had regulations that look at the operation of B Mountain, do you think today the extent of that damage will be like the way we saw it the last time? No. This man got no damn idea about how they call it regulation. He's just wasting his time. He's wasting his time and continue to prove to the Liberian people that he's very, very incompetent, and his incompetency will not do anything better for the country over there. So he doesn't know what he's talking about, all right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't listen.
In a profitable and predictable manner. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. We cannot remain spectators in our own economy.
Do you believe that bull crap? Do you believe that bull crap that we will not be spectators in our own country? Look at how Lebanese, Indians, and other foreign nationals are treating our people in our country. Do you not believe that the man lied to you all the time and he continued to lie? Do you not believe it? Yes. Do you not believe it? That Liberians will not be spectators in their own country. Now you see how everything he said has been all lies. This is where you should come to analyze this thing here. Liberia will not be spectator. Do you think Liberia want to hear that one again anymore? Really? Do you think? This is walk in the park for you. All you got to do is to just go across all the community and business centers in Liberia and ask the people, are you spectators in your own country? Or are you not spectators now? Or are you in the game? Are you spectators or are you in the game? Somebody wrote that speech for this man. Somebody wrote that speech for that man. And that is why he went out there and read it. It was nowhere in his program. Nowhere in his program. That is why you see today he is a massive failure. He is a total disaster and he is a loser. This year, he should be given a deliverable of everything that he has said. But nothing you can see that the people of Liberia have benefited from. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing the people have benefited from his administration. Nothing. He lied to the people. What did he do? He lied to the people. From the time he started this speech, he has been lying to the people, wearing the same jersey. Nobody going to have more wealth than their friend. Nobody going to be spectator in their own country. We're going to fight corruption. Where do you see all those things he mentioned that he ever asked someone to do for him? Nowhere. He lied to the people.
For the conduct of honest and transparent business, we will remove unnecessary regulatory constraints that tend to impede the establishment and operation of business in a profitable and predictable manner. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. We cannot remain spectator in our own economy.
I think somebody said here too, I think I agree with the person here. They are not only spectators, they are not even on the stadium. They are outside of the stadium under this guy administration. And I think this is the best way to describe the lies that he told. Folks, do you believe that Liberians are spectators? No, they are not even on that stadium. They are out of that stadium. Based on his voice, they are not even on that stadium. They are outside. Yes. All right. They are outside of that stadium. He completely lied to the people. Yes, he completely lied to the people. That's what he did. All right. Let me progress.
My government will prioritize the interests of Liberian-owned businesses and offer programs to help them become more competitive and offer.
Not only is he not making no sense, Sis Marilla, all right? If you say no understanding, you're giving him some relevant, but he doesn't even know what he said. And I think Dickinson couldn't have said it better, all right? Because what he wrote over there, I will give you maybe 5% or 100 of his understanding, but he didn't understand nothing he read over there. Absolutely nothing. Nothing he read over there. So you're giving him some little thing here, Marilla. You're giving him something, but he understand nothing he read over there. Nothing. Somebody just gave him that speech, and he decided to write that speech. That's what he did over there. Nothing. Nothing he wrote over there. Nothing. So don't get him no relevant. Do not get him any relevant at all. Don't get him any relevant. All right? You'll be happy him. Maybe you want to balance him, but I don't see nothing that he wrote over that makes sense. Absolutely nothing.
Services that international investors seek as partners. My fellow Liberians, this victory could not have been possible without the support of the youth of this country, the women of this country, especially those who make their living by selling in the market. To all of you, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. This is your government.
Really? Does it really make sense? Do you believe that? Is this government your government when he keeping speech from everybody? Do you really believe that? Is this government his government? I mean, your government? He lied to you. This government is not your government. The man keeps speech from everybody. He keeps speech from everybody. You talk to him, you tell him the truth, he keeps speech from you. And now he telling you that this government is your government. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He lied to the people. He lied to the people. He lied to the people. He lied. That's what he said. And that's what he's doing. All right? Nothing but lies. Listen to him again. Continue with his lies.
In the famous words of President Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We could not have arrived at this day without our voices being heard loudly, and all our views, no matter how critical, being freely expressed in an atmosphere void of intimidation and arrest. This was only made possible by the tolerance of my predecessor, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who protected the rights of freedom of speech as enshrined in our Constitution. Now, in my turn, I will go further to encourage and reinforce not only freedom of speech, but also freedom of political assembly. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, to change the structure of Liberian economy will require huge investment in agriculture, infrastructure, in human capital, and in the technology.
Wow. Why don't we start with technology first? Let's start with technology. You see, I couldn't agree again. And I think Dickinson, maybe Samuel Twelve may have also added a part of script to this man's speech. But when you look at technology, which part of Weah government have you seen technology? What if we are policy on technology? The man got no idea about technology. A government been in power for 5 years. He has not given any reason for people to believe that technology exists in Liberia. He has not given any reason for people to believe that technology exists in Liberia. All right? He has not given any reason for people to believe that technology exists in Liberia. He doesn't even have one ministry that is attached to technology. Nothing. Nothing. Now he spoke about agriculture. What is his national policy on agriculture? He set himself in Nima there, almost at the end of his government leadership. And now he's talking about we are going to have strategic plan. You see how vulnerable his ignorance is? The year prior to the election, he's talking about we need to have a strategy plan. Who told him that how things work? This year should be about deliverable. This year should be about him having some level of deliverable. And he talking about we have technology and stuff like that. That whole speech was nothing but a bunch of lies. That's why it is a bunch of lies.
We hope our international development partners will assist us in this transformation. Meanwhile, on behalf of all Liberians, I would like to thank the international community for the invaluable contributions they have made to our peace and economic development. I thank the economic community of the West African states, the ECOWAS, for standing with Liberia throughout these years. Many of our West African brothers and sisters shed their blood for Liberians during our conflict. This is a debt Liberian would never be able to repay. We count these fallen West African soldiers among the martyrs of our history. Without their supreme sacrifices, this day would not have been possible. ECOWAS will continue to play a very meaningful role during my presidency. I also thank the United Nations to demonstrate their confidence in us by transitioning aid tax from peacekeeping to the government and people of the United States of America. We thank you for your strong support over the years. Partnership with Liberia. I hope that Chinese-Liberian relationships, this was the venue that brought opposing factions together during national marches, effectively reconciling them to a single national purpose, Liberia. And once again today, we stand at this same venue. Thank you for standing with Liberia over the past several years. Liberia has always had an historic relationship.
All right, let me see what Yango wrote here. He said, J. Randy, you should give President Weah some credit in some areas in Liberia for what he is doing. The free home he built for some of our people and is still building in some part of the country. He did some role, lighting up some city and freedom of speech. We should appreciate him for that. I appreciate Mr. Weah for nothing here, Yango. Mr. Weah did not do none of those things by his own. All right, these things were done by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and the World Bank and IMF compelled him to put this thing together. Where I think Mr. Weah would deserve my credit. One, the 4 auditors that died, if Mr. Weah had launched an investigation, I will appreciate Mr. Weah for that. 2, if Mr. Weah continued to fight corruption by his own standard, I will appreciate Mr. Weah, because these are behavior that have been perpetrated by people who work in his government. I will also support Mr. Weah or give him some credit if Mr. Weah opened all his arms when it comes to reconciliation. When last had Mr. Weah called on his fellow Liberians who have been disenchanted by his own government official? These are fundamental things that Mr. Weah should be doing. Building homes, we building home that people who have relatives that are supposed to be in Liberia to go visit and they cannot go there. No, I cannot do that. Roads are already been existing. Road is nothing. Anybody can build road. Legislature there in that time building road. You see Abu there building road. You get called by them building road. So the road issue is not nothing strange for me to get any credence or credit to Mr. Weah. Everyone in that little district building road over there. Don't you see that, Edwin Yango? All of them building roads in that place. Some of them building houses. All right? The flawed situation that happened in the country. When last have you seen Mr. Weah going to visit the people who are victims? As small as our country is, the flaw that is taking place across the different community. When last have you seen Mr. Weah cutting all his trip in Ganta, going back to Morovia and say, look, guys, I will leave you in charge. I have to go back to Morovia to go and visit those homes and communities that are impacted by the flooding situation in the country and call on the authority in charge to do whatever it takes to help these people. Does Mr. Weah understand that? No. Whenever there is flood entering people's community and homes, there are health consequences, health impact that it leaves behind. Home will get impacted from mold and other environmental situation. Furniture will start to rotten up. All right, people will start to get sick because the flood is coming from different areas. Some are intact with the bus and gushing poo-poo water coming out of the different bad sewage system. Those things contain dangerous infectious diseases, contamination that entering people's homes. Does he understand that? Until Mr. Weah start to look at these basic things that could have been prevented, I'm not going to give him no damn credit here for something that other people are doing. There are Liberians on the ground who are building homes. There are Liberians in the government that are bending roles. Sir Joseph will take all the machine and put a picture on it. I have to say that he is the one who invented the yellow machine and take a yellow machine and pass it through different town. I mean, a different community. Then you think Mr. Weah bending role. Mr. Yango, with all due respect, my friend, with all due respect, my brother, I love you and I love your openness. But I think this one, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be on your side on this one here. All right? So just hit that like button for me or that love button. What I would do if to praise Mr. Weah is Mr. Weah visit floor victims. If Mr. Weah get involved with fighting corruption. Corruption kill future of people. Corruption will kill the very people he giving that home to. How does he expect those people to maintain that home when people in his government are corrupting the system? The Zorizo issue that took place at LPRC. Did you hear Mr. Weah coming out to say anything? Nothing. He's not saying anything. So the guy is not just a serious guy, man. I'm sorry.
The AU, as a founding member of the African Union, I look forward to participating with my colleagues at the forthcoming summit, where we intend to utilize the resources and expertise of the African Union for the benefit of our country. To other bilateral and multilateral partners, I say a sincere thanks to you, the World Bank, Sweden, the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, Norway, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, to name too few, have also played important roles in Liberia emergence from conflict and will remain critical for the transformation we seek. My fellow Liberian, my greatest contribution to this country as president may not last in the eloquence of my speeches, but will definitely last in the quality of the decision that I will make over the next 6 years to advance the lives of poor Liberia.
Do you believe that crap? What quality decision has he made? It's nothing but a poor and unrated decision. It's talking about quality decision. Does he really understand the meaning of quality decision? When he take to the mark and go in a church and talk against people who speak the truth, when he color speech from people, you see now, folks, that as he wind down his speech with what you have seen over the past 5 years and what you know now, can you now say that every speech that the man has given, including the one from the inauguration, has been all lies and deception and misguided information? What type of quality decision has he made? What type of quality decision has he made? Does he really understand what is the meaning of quality decision? Does he understand that? Where's my boy or Atlanta King? Where is Atlanta King? Does he understand the meaning of quality decision? Now you see how ignorant and incompetent this president is. Tell me, folks, everything that has been going on, it's nothing quality about his decision he made. And folks, understand this. Everything and every word that I use here is all part of the dictionary of professional criticism. There is no man cursing. There is no personal insult. Incompetence, ignorance, incompetence, lies, deception are things that he said in his speech. Are the things that he said we are describing. So, Sidisha, I want to thank you for being here, who are still here. You don't have to leave your party to vote against this man. The man said everyone will be wearing the same jersey. But tonight, you now know that he lied. He said he would do everything possible to make sure that Liberians get some of the wealth. That is a lie. That is a lie as well. He said, I will do everything to fight corruption. That again is a lie. He said, I will make quality decisions. There are people in your government who have done the worst things, but he's unwilling and unable to make a quality decision to let those individuals go. He lied again. So what more can you think that he had done? What more can you think he has done? What more can you think he has done that makes sense as it relates to quality decision? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely what? Nothing. This man need to leave power by next year. He lied too much. His lie has caught up with him. He deceived sedition for 12 years. Sedition put their life on the line. 12 years. Sedition put their life on the line. Yes, 12 years. 12 years. Sedition put their life on the line. 12 years. Sedition put their life on the line for this man. And then after he got elected, he gave 6 years. But within the first 6 years, 5 years of the 6, he ran and put a big building project for himself. He turned around and opened multiple bank accounts and never even cared for the Liberian people. Never cared for the Liberian people. And after letting the people down, sedition put their life. Seditions, all right? You got seditions. You got supporters of the CDC party. And you got well wishers and Liberians. They all put their life on hold for this man. And allow him and gave him the opportunity to be president. And what has he done? Nothing. Nothing he did for the Liberian people. Absolutely nothing. But put himself first. What did he do? He put himself first. No sedition today that are within the general population that we call the commoner, the grassroots. No sedition can get up and say, I'm proud today that I supported George Weah. The common ones. I'm not talking about the one that live in America. I'm not talking about the one that live in Europe. And I'm not talking about the one that work in the government. But the one that live in the regular community. Now one of them will get up and tell you, look, Randy, I supported the 4 pillow. What are 4 pillows on here? Where's my 4 pillow here? I can see it around here. There it is right here. None of them will get up and say, I supported the 4 pillow here. And because of that, Randy, I got a certificate. Because part of the 4 pillow say educational and training. Education and training. Give me 10 Liberians from each county that will show you a certificate that they were trained at any vocational school in the country to be an electrician, to be a carpenter, to be an electronic technician. Give me 10 from each county. It's nothing. I challenge all seditions to go and find 10 Liberians across the entire country, from each county, let them tell you that they obtain some technical vocational degree. Let them tell you, you will not find one. But these people put their life on hold. They put their life on hold for George Weah. And George Weah did nothing. And George Weah did nothing for them. Absolutely what? Nothing. And that's why I'm telling them, 12 years, you put your life on hold for George Weah. George Weah gained out of your time you're wasted. 6 years you're giving out of 5, George Weah have made a big name for himself by putting on the ground property. Today, George Weah got multiple bank accounts. Today, Sekou Carrasco living a fabulous life, good life, and every one of you guys. Today, Mama Sikaba, Irving Winsor, every one of them that used to be passing around on the street, they are now living in luxury homes that they don't deserve. Samuel Tueden living in better homes. McGill then going around dishing money that they never dish ever in their life. But you, the typical sedition, tomorrow morning, what time is it right now? 5 minutes after 3 a.m. Very soon you'll be getting up in the next 4 hours. You're going to be getting up in Liberia. You're going to look left, you're going to look right, you're going to look up, you're going to look down. You don't even have a job to go to. No job. Your children, you look at them every morning. You are a father. There's no sign of hope. But you put your life on the line for George Weah. You made all the sacrifices for George Weah. You supported this thing here that you call it change for hope. But the change for hope, it has been replaced by change for opportunity. You get every one of them opportunity. Today, when you ask any Irish Liberian in the country, tell me the benefit that regular sedition got, they will not be able to tell you anything. But when you tell them, say, tell me what had changed in the life of George Weah, they will tell you, go to that place that you see the man compound. McGill put his mind in some type of mausoleum. McGill is so rich that he put his mind in a mausoleum. Can you imagine that? Put his mind in a dead body house that looked at a real house. That's how rich McGill then had taken our government to be today. But sedition can barely get a piece of job. But these are people who put their life on hold. And do you think I come to listen to any sedition that live in America here? The sedition that live in America here, they say the government doing well, but they don't go back there and go live. You see, when Nelson Mandela was sick, during his last days on the face of the planet, many international countries call on Mandela and say, Mandela, come to our country, we'll treat you. Mandela said, no. I believe in my doctors in South Africa, I will stay here. And he stood there, sat there until he died. Citizens that say they support George Weah, they live abroad. But they are not willing to go back there to live with George Weah. Why you think they're not doing that? Because they know that country is hard and George Weah doing nothing. But where the deceptiveness coming from them, instead of telling their fellow citizens on the ground that the president, he let us down. He lied to you. You need to vote for another candidate. You try Mr. Cummings because Boca is now a man. They're not doing it because you know what? They live in a women country. They are happy here. They enjoy life here. So what do we do? Because they got fingers, they got a phone, they got a laptop or desktop that they can go there when people talking, they be writing. But you tell them to go back to Liberia to go live, they will never do it. How can you say your government doing well, but you can't go live? I know that government not doing well. That's why I say I'm not going there. Because I know it is not doing well for the people. They are only reaching themselves. That is where the honesty come in. Sedition around the world, they know the government not doing well. And that is why they don't go there to live. Eugene Fagon said he's sedition, right? The moment they fire him, he ran away, he came back here. In America, yeah, when they let you go or you leave your job, do you run away, go back to Liberia? No, you don't run away. In America, yeah, when people say leave our company or leave our job, you don't run to Liberia, right? No, you go and look for another one. Donald Trump fired his minister then. A health minister, the minister of human health and services. He fired a foreign minister, the minister, I mean the State Department or the Secretary of State. Those are the people that many of you guys know that Donald Trump fired, right? Did you see them running away going to Europe where their grandparents came from? No. They stay right here and enjoying their life because they know there are numerous opportunities in their country here. Eugene Fagon in Liberia, the moment fire he ran away, he came here. Y'all got to be very truthful to yourself. George Weah have failed the people. The people gave George Weah 17 years so far. 12 years they supported his party against Ellen twice. They lost. He became senator. The people supported him to get that position. 6 years, the people gave he had done 5. What did he do? He only put himself first. He put himself first. Buy houses, open his fat bank account, looking nice. Nowadays, now he dancing buka dance now. Here is the man who, when he got elected, he was crying. Oh, people say, oh, Mr. Weah is crying for the poor people. Mr. Weah was like, you don't know why you're not giving my people. You don't know why you're not giving. The buka dance he dancing. How many people who supported him today across the country are able to dance that buka dance because of satisfaction? George Weah is certified with his personal achievement. That is why he's dancing that buka dance. He's not dancing that dance because he's happy with sedition. George Weah look at his fat bank account, he look at his condominium, he's like, oh, Liberian people, thank you. I was a drowning man. I never thought I was going to be the kind of life that I'm living today. I am not stupid here. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. That's exactly what George Weah is doing when you see him dancing like that today. Yes. All right? That's what George Weah is doing. Listen to this other one here. Listen to this.
Very young when my mom died, and I lived with people to earn my education. It never came on any silver platter. And as I went through my days of hard time, I always said to myself, if I get the opportunity, I will always fight to make sure that those who don't have that opportunity, I will be the voice for them, no matter how many people support me. So when I campaigned for Mr. Weah and felt that he wasn't doing the right thing, I went right back to the promise I made and decided to come. Today, if I get 5 people watching me, I'm lucky. Because what I found out is this: Liberians are not people who want to build a future. They want to live in a country that got no roadmap. But it is a country. But what they want is what they can get for themselves personally. But they forget to know that we are a population of people. Individual benefit will not sustain the population of a country. They don't understand that. And that's why I'm here today. So after going through everything I just explained to you, live with people to earn my education.
Let's start out
Live
with
with young when my mom died, and I live with people to earn my education. It never came on any silver platter. And as I went through my days of hard time, I always said to myself, if I get the opportunity, I will always fight to make sure that those who don't have that opportunity, I will be the voice for them, no matter how many people support me. So when I campaigned for Mr. Weah and felt that he wasn't doing the right thing, I went right back to the promise I made and decided to come. Today, if I get 5 people watching me, I'm lucky. Because what I found out is this: Liberians are not people who want to build a future. They want to live in a country that got no roadmap. But it is a country. But what they want is what they can get for themselves personally. But they forget to know that we are a population of people. Individual benefit will not sustain the population of a country. They don't understand that. And that's why I'm here today. So after going through everything I just explained to you, here is my new mindset. I believe, I'm very young when my mom died, and I live with people to earn my education. It never came on any silver platter. And as I went through my days of hard time, I always said to myself, if I get the opportunity, I will always fight to make sure that those who don't have that opportunity, I will be the voice for them, no matter how many people support me. So when I campaigned for Mr. Weah and felt that he wasn't doing the right thing, I went right back to the promise I made and decided to come. Today, if I get 5 people watching me, I'm lucky. Because what I found out is this: Liberians are not people who want to build a future. They want to live in a country that got no roadmap. But it is a country. But what they want is what they can get for themselves personally. But they forget to know that we are a population of people. Individual benefit will not sustain the population of a country. They don't understand that. And that's why I'm here today. So after going through everything I just explained to you, here is my new mindset.
All right, guys. So that was just something of the many, many videos that I have for myself. And, for those of you that don't know where I stand with issue, I take things very seriously. I'm not on this platform or on any platform for myself. And, I think God has given me the opportunity for me to showcase myself. I was not born with silver spoon in my mouth. The fundamental reason, the gas for what continue to make me to move forward is for me to look at where I'm coming from. Many Liberians, they don't know where they're coming from. And one thing I always encourage people who belong to the ANC. People feel that Mr. Cummings lived in this country. He came from the family line of rich people. Until we start to tell Mr. Cummings' story to the Liberian people that his man lived in West Point, they don't believe it yet. Many Liberians think that Mr. Cummings just lived with the Coca-Cola family and became rich overnight. Your story must be told. You see, when the NFL player is drafted to participate in the NFL, what story you think they show? They show how their mom are single and took care of them. That also go to the baseball, the basketball player. A story must be told to give reason why someone wants to be or someone is turning into be what he or she wants to be. And that's my motto. My motto here is to tell people where I came from, because that will give other people the motivation not to just be a praise singer, but to say, if that person can do it, I can do it. When Jesus came from heaven, he came with a greater power than any man could imagine. But what did he do? He was born in a manger. He lived a simple life. Worked with his father, who was a carpenter. But he used that little power to resurrect and go to heaven. That's how powerful Moses is. Jesus was. Mr. Cummings' story should be told out there. George Weah started his story by telling people he lived in Gibraltar. He used to pick up battle. He used to look through Johansson window, looking at cars that he could never imagine riding. That story resonated with people. You cannot tell a present-day story to make your case. Liberians in America, Liberians back home, when they see Mr. Cummings, they think Mr. Cummings is part of the Bill Gates family. They think Mr. Cummings never suffered. They don't even think that Mr. Cummings ever broke Pankana. They don't even believe that Mr. Cummings went to a government school, because the present-day generation, they came to know Mr. Cummings as a former Coca-Cola executive. That is how he was sold to the Liberian people by the first campaign manager, the first campaigner for Mr. Cummings. We did not sell George Weah like that. People knew George Weah won the Ballon d'Or. People knew George Weah was a very good guy. But the story of George Weah was told from the community throughout to where he reached. To get Mr. Cummings elected, the Liberian people have to have some common denominator that they must share with Mr. Cummings. They must share with him. They need to share with him. So Mr. Cummings' story need to be told. He shouldn't be the one telling his story. Those who support him need to be telling his story. And I hope that across every network that support Mr. Cummings, whether it is a campaign team on public relation, you need to start to disseminate that information. It's very, very important. Every voter must have something that they see connected to that candidate to vote. Those who in the executive position in America, they can relate to that. Those who back home can say, oh, the man live in the same community. If possible, if Mr. Cummings still remember the community he lived in, he can go there and say, look, I used to live in this community. My mom lived here. And you will see people will start to have a different perception of Mr. Cummings. What happened to Obama? Obama said he came from the south side of Chicago. Yes, if you listen to the dream of his father, the many story he told. Obama said, oh, I went to Kenya. In our book, he spoke like regular Kenyan. He told multiple stories, and his story stuck with many people. It's no different. Different geographic, same human being. All it takes is for you to tell your story. And that's why I always love to tell my story. And that's why some people who follow me, they believe what I say, what I do. I'm not a perfect person. At least I try by telling my story. Story speaks volume. Story changes people's mind. Story create a different chemistry between you and other people. People must relate to story. Today, people are becoming Christian because of the story of Jesus Christ, how he lived on the face of the planet. People want to emulate other people because of where they came from. Everyone has a story to tell. So again, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. This is J. Randy signing up. Don't listen to George Weah. It's a failure. As any sedition, let them give you 10 people across the country who has accomplished some level of certificate, and let Mr. Weah give you his 5 years achievement record. How many communities across the country that are now enjoying the pleasure of electricity? How many communities across the country that are now enjoying security? How many communities across the country that are now enjoying the good educational system he has put in place, or his government put in place? How many communities are now enjoying better health care in the country? Women who are pregnant are giving safe birth. People who are old, they are living longer than what they used to be before. These are information that Mr. Weah need to be given to the Liberian people so that they can re-elect him. And he doesn't give that sedition. Think about 17 years of your life on hold. And looking at Mr. Weah and his cabinet minister that have gained so much things over the 6 years, you don't have to leave your party. You can stay within your party and vote against Mr. Weah. America, the greater teacher of democracy, they are Republican in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, that voted against Donald Trump to help the Democrat put Joe Biden in office, but they still remain with the Republican Party. It's just that they told the world that we can be for the same party, but when our leader is not doing the right thing, we can remove that leader, because it's all about the country and not about individual. So sedition, don't you know that it's not illegal? Don't let nobody lie to you in the party. You can vote against George Weah and keep your party and keep your party's leadership, and that will make you powerful. When you do that, you will even scare Mr. Cummings when he becomes president, because you will be telling Mr. Cummings, we gave George Weah 1 term. We now will be watching you, Mr. Cummings. If you don't do well in your first 6 years, we will also vote you out of office. because your own people will be watching you too. And with that way, you, the people in Liberia, the voters, you'll be having the power now. You will be so anxious to go for any election now because you say, you know what, that man won't finish. That man won't finish, J. Randy. Even if I come here to convince you, you say, no, that man won't finish. But when that person is doing well, you say, J. Randy, I don't care what you say about that man. You can go anywhere. That person stay here with us because we now know what that person doing. That's how you will take that power. Don't let what Ellen did, don't let Weah do that. Ellen will just lock it that Facebook was not as popular as the way it is today. Because if that was the case, Ellen was going to be one-term president. But it's happening that Mr. Weah is right now in the limelight of things now. We're watching him right now. Yes. So until then, I see you guys. Oh, my sister Yvonne came here. Yvonne, Yvonne says, sleep, Carol. Randy, you look very sleepy. Yes, I look sleepy because I can get in the morning here. Says Yvonne, welcome to the show. Where have you been? Change is coming in 2023. Vote coming for president. Yes. My man Yango, I can't wait to come and visit you in Australia over there. We'll find time. All right. Thanks to every one of you guys for the opportunity. I appreciate you guys so much. Every criticism. Brother Eric, where's Eric again? Where's my brother Eric? There he is right here. Thank you so much. We had a stranger here today, and I want to applaud him too. I think his name is Connor here. Where's Connor here? All right. I see Miss Townsend here. All right. And I see how do you call it? My two sister here. Sis Agnes is here. I think I saw you, Montreal. Montreal is here. Yeah, I'm just trying to kill time. I only got 2 more minutes to go. All right. So I'm just trying to kill it here. 2 more minutes to go. Sometimes I give you a 3 minute back today. I have to hold you guys for that 2 more minutes. We are just wanted the opportunity to steal from the government. I mean, from his own country and the citizen. I couldn't agree with you more. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. All right, I see my man Prince here, Prince Wilson. Thank you so much for joining here. I admire your character, your strength. Thank you very much. You seem to be a nice person. I appreciate you for that. Yes, I appreciate you. Great respect for you. Anyway, great respect for you. Great respect for you, Prince Wilson. Great respect for you. I see another trouble person here too, Michelle. Another trouble person here. All right. Then I see Emmanuel here, Emmanuel Conan. Yes, he got beat up so much here today by all the supporters here of ANC. Emmanuel, thank you for holding your own, but you got ready beating here today. And I think you got to go back to go lick your wound. Yes, you got to go back to go lick your wound. And you got whooped today. I'll tell you that one now. You got whooped here today. Kawhi say thanks, sir. We learned a lot in the class today. Thank you very much. Yes, it's always a pleasure, guys. It's always a pleasure. Hey, there go my picking right here. The only man that will take me to Minnesota to go visit is this man right here. Yes, the only man that will take me to Minnesota here. And the only man, if the man invite me to Minnesota, I'm on my way. This man right here. Yes. Yes, I'm getting to like him. He's a very nice guy. Yes. He's the only man that will call me to Minnesota and say, I'm on my way. Yes. Nobody. Yes. That's the only man that will come to Minnesota. Yes. Until then, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings. And other than that, have yourself a pleasant night. I will be here tomorrow morning. Where is Vivian? Vivian's still here. I think she left. But Vivian, thank you so much. Tomorrow morning we'll be here again. I'm going to leave everything here. We're going to be here tomorrow morning. And I am going to invite you. Where you want to invite me here? Where you going to invite me here, Prince Wilson? Says Marilla, I think you're in Texas. All right. So all the Texas people, I know what they are. Be careful. You see what happened to Look, if I go, I will carry you. Well, in the Yango. Yango, if I go, I'll carry you. We'll talk that other one tomorrow. We'll talk that other one tomorrow. We'll talk that one tomorrow. Thank you, Sis Miata. Thank you so much. Sis Miata, thank you so much. Miata was making plan with my friend in how they call it. Yes, yeah, New York. I got my friend Tunis down there. That's fine. Yes. Anyway, yes. Prince. Yes. Thank you. All right. Why you look so over that? Who be just making plan with my people? Let me see here. So yeah, how they call it? Miata, I just want to share the joke before I go because I don't say even though I want to sleep now, so I'm about to leave now. Bye, everybody. Show over now, but let me share the large joke with everyone here. So Miata took a picture with me. The picture did not come up. She got a little bit. The guy that wrote the book. The guy that wrote the book for George Weah, Emmanuel Clark. He took that picture and Miata look at the picture and I said, "Well, what the hell is this?" I don't know if I Junior that took that picture or Miata. I mean, or Prince, because Miata and myself together. She said, "What the hell is this?" So it was Lofa Junior's son, and who took the picture because the kid is very smart. Most of the kids are very smart. So, but the funny thing that I want to let you guys know about when the boy took the picture, she looked at the picture that they not Miata Takina, but Miata Staring, not the Miata Takina, but the other Miata. Her Nija brought me to talk about her, and so Miata Heron look at the picture and said, "What the hell is this here?" So she squatted the other picture and asked somebody else to take another one. But that's just something I want to share with you guys. So good night to everyone. I see you guys. God bless you guys. Bye bye and